Hey everyone, thanks for coming and checking out the director's cut video. So I'd like to go over a few things that I wasn't able to go over in that short video. If you're using these for doing massive tops, and it is very, very viable to glue up tabletops, that sort of thing, with a clamping board, you're going to want to make sure that you're storing your clamping boards in a nice fashion so they don't bend. So if you've got it leaning against the wall somewhere, it can bend. Best option is to hang it or to keep it laying flat on a shelf somewhere. Now, a couple of things that I use with these top sections right here are used to keep the glue up flat. You can run shims underneath it at points to raise or lower boards, alleviating the need for biscuits or splines or, you know, the ever expensive Festool. So and it works really well. Now, there's some argument out there about whether biscuits make your joints stronger, and it doesn't matter if they do or not. Quite frankly, glue is stronger than wood. I've glued up maple panels and tried to break the glue joint, and it's always the wood that breaks. It's never the glue. So that works really well as far as, you know, just keeping those things level. Use a shim to kind of beat everything down so you got a nice flat surface. Makes the end milling quite a bit less work than if you were just to go ahead and slap them up and let them float, you know what I mean, where they were offset a little bit. Let's go ahead and take this out. So in the video, I just grabbed some 1x4 that I had laying around. I didn't edge it or anything, and it had a little twisting, so I didn't run it through a planer or flatten the sides. I just used clamping pressure to get it in there. So let me go ahead and pan the camera down, and I'll show you a couple of neat little tricks. So one of the things about getting boards out of a clamping is all you have to do is pull up. You don't have to worry about knocking the shims out or anything. And in the video you saw me put a coat of wax on here, so if you get glue drips, they come right off. Sorry about that. So this particular clamping board is 24 inches wide and 24 inches deep. Now obviously, because of the two pieces on the end, you can only glue up a piece that's 22 inches or so. And you can also put the boards in right up to this side and then put the wedges in right here if you were doing something a little bit wider. And then of course, if you need something larger, make it larger, but typically make it, you know, 2.5 inches deeper than the top that you're going to glue up. Now this is a really super fast and effective way of gluing up tops, and I've been doing this for years. I've literally glued up thousands of tops, all different sizes, and lots of panels like this. So like I said in the video, also, you know, in some places plywood's a bit prohibitive cost-wise, so I'll do a video sometime in the next couple of weeks about how to do something very similar to this without using any plywood at all. And it's a great solution for doing large tops. In fact, anytime I built something for a tabletop, you know, tabletop size, I built it that way. It's kind of a torsion system, and I'll do a video on that to show an example of it. So these work great, and I would definitely encourage you to go ahead and build some of these. They are somewhat adjustable. Obviously, they're not going to be as adjustable as having the clamps around, but you know, a standard clamp, 4-foot clamp at Home Depot, a nice one is going to cost you, I honestly don't even know. It's probably going to be upwards of $50 to $70 at least for a decent one. And this thing hole right here was made out of scrap material I had around the shop. Well, the plywood is kind of bordering on scrap, but it's definitely a high value thing, because now I can use this over and over and over again, and maybe it cost me $10 to build. I'm not, you know, as far as materials go. So it's definitely one of those things that you can put a lot of use to. So let's take a look at the wood here. Now, I know some people say, you know, this has been in there for about an hour, a little over an hour now, and I really did a terrible job. I just kind of slapped some scrap together. I didn't edge anything or make it pretty. So granted, this is also just pine, but let's say, you know, glue up times, everybody says glue up times. A lot of people say leave it overnight. I get asked a lot about glue up times, and I will tell you right off the bat that leaving something gluing overnight, not necessary. I have been known to take stuff out of clamps as quickly as 40-45 minutes, depending on the weather, if it's warm enough and it's not too humid. This has been in there for, I don't know, hour and a half, and we'll see how strong the glue is. Little demonstration here, guys. Granted, this is only pine. See if I can get it right on the glue joint there. Ouch. Crap. Again, you can see where the glue joint is. This is an hour and a half after clamping it up. So, you know, you don't have to wait overnight if you want to keep working. Anyway, there you have it, guys. Thank you for checking out the director's cut video. Obviously, I'll be doing a lot more as things go on. And if you haven't noticed, the last video is about clamps. This video is about clamps, and the next video is going to be about clamps. In fact, the next few videos are probably going to be about clamps. And what I'm doing is trying to build up an inventory of videos all about homemade clamping systems. So the next, you know, half a dozen videos or so are going to be about homemade clamping solutions. And I've got a couple fun ones to throw in there in between as well to mix it up a little bit. We'll talk to you guys all soon.